Guys, Chris back at Hard Knocks. If you watched my last video, you will know that I was in quite a bad mood last week with a lot of people talking shit, and hopefully I stopped that. So, 69 Lincoln Continental, rusty piece of shit. So we're going to go into a bit more detail today about this car. So as I said, it's a 69 Lincoln Continental. It's fucking 60 million feet long and it's very, very rusty. So to give you a bit of background on this car, it was a running driving car. It came over to England in 2016 maybe from New York, and the underneath of it is pretty bad. It looks like it's been sat at the bottom of the North Sea for the past 10 years. So this type of car is a big cruiser, big heavy cruiser. It weighs like 2.4 ton, massively long, very, very squishy. That's great if you just want to cruise around town and, you know, pick your mates up. But with the horsepower that we're actually aiming to put through this car, with 20 by 12s or 20 by 14s out back, it's going to have quite a lot of grip. So what's going to happen with the 4-link setup, when that's out of preload and the transmission's loaded it up and both the fucking, you know, big precision turbos are unleashing hell on the LS3, what's going to happen? Chassis is going to flex. So what we're actually going to do with this car, because it's a unibody, so that means it's a all-in-one, what you would know as a monocoque. So it's a complete body chassis together and then separate subframes. What we're actually going to do is cut the floor pan out and install 2 frame rails to make a chassis. That's going to stiffen it up probably 30–40%. We're then going to add in not a roll cage, because it's not going to be designed for safety in the aspect that we would normally do, but it's going to be to stiffen it up. So it's going to have a main hoop and it's going to have framework, but it's actually going to be tucked into the body of the car so that when it's back together and trimmed and finished, you don't necessarily notice it, you don't lose any interior space. But what it will do is stop that twist. You can see behind me how long it is. The doors are like 4 foot each. It's a fucking huge car. So that's how we're going to take care of that. Now the rear section, obviously it was leaf sprung, twin shocks on the rear. It wasn't very nice. We're going to go to 4-link. So what we're actually going to do is cut the entire boot floor out, which you can probably see behind me. And that's where we're going to start our rear cross member, which you've heard me talk about before with the drag cars and the other stuff. And then our 4-link's going to be mounted from that. So it's not going to have frame rails in the top like a drag car would, but it will have lower frame rails, which would be technically our chassis, and then obviously all new sheet metal. You can get panels for these cars, they are still available, but there is so much rust in this floor pan, we're basically going to have to jig it up inside and then cut the entire lot out and start again. Because there's so much going on in this car, like full custom interior, custom dashboard, obviously the seats are going to be custom steering column, custom pedal box, custom fucking everything. We're actually going to change the floor pan a lot from its factory setup. So it kind of works well. It means we don't have to worry about repairing the rusty floor pan because we're just going to remove it. So as I say, twin turbo LS3, 4L8 EE trans, digital controller, Haltech Elite 2500, PDM. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fucking badass, this car. We're going to use 454 bow tie LSX block, which is like a brand new block straight from Chevrolet themselves. So yeah, that gives you a little bit more detail about the car. Like I said, it's on air ride, obviously airlift, of course, because that's what we do. New fuel tank in the back that we're going to make, because the factory one actually sits up against the rear axle, and that's not going to work for us in this application. Because we're using a Ford 9-inch, the axle is considerably bigger, beefier, just to take the power and the torque. So you're probably not going to see anything else on this for a few weeks, because the guys in the shop are actually going to, I like saying that, we've got guys in the shop now. Like I say, it's 3 of us, it's fucking awesome, and we're now killing it. So they're going to get the rest of it bare metaled, and then the Nissan comes off the chassis table in about 6–7 days, and then we're going to have a big move around in the shop, which obviously will show you what we're doing, and then this car is going on the chassis table. So next up, we're going to show you Cameron's Mark II Golf. So as always, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share it, do whatever you want to do. Thanks for watching.